Hey guys, Andrew here, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going over the second class system post made by DICE, going over the specialist core feedback that has been provided over the past few months via people being invited out for playtests and on public forums. If you remember a while back, I did a video going over the first iteration of this post, and since then, some things have been changed around, and they've added some new interesting things that I would love to get you guys' opinion on. That'll be later in the video. It has to do with weapon proficiencies. These changes are supposedly coming in the later half of Season 3, and correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't actually specify when the changes would actually come in the last post, but apparently it's not coming directly when Season 3 releases, which is a bit of a disappointment, considering Season 3 is the next big thing coming to Battlefield 2042. Before we get into the specifics, if you enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for supporting all the videos and watching them and commenting. I enjoy reading all the comments, and I try to reply to them as much as I can. And do not fall for any of these robots that are replying to you in the comments. If some Telegram app tries to reply to you in a YouTube comment telling you you've won a gaming PC, you haven't. Okay, that's a complete scam. Totally ignore it. It is not me, and it will never be me. Now that we have that out of the way, let's actually go over how they plan on grouping specialists into classes yet again. So we have the Assault class with McKay, Sundance, and Dozer, the Medic class with Angel, Falk, and Irish, the Engineer class with Liss, Boris, and Crawford, and the Recon class with Casper, Pike, and Rao. Now, I totally understand what DICE is trying to do here in splitting the specialist evenly between 4 classes, but I still disagree with Dozer being in the Assault class and Pike being in the Recon class. If anything, I think Pike should probably be in the Assault class and Dozer should be in the Support class, making the classes a bit uneven. I just think that makes a lot more sense, personally. Pike is not a reconnaissance character. It's an individual, like, flank, hyper-aggressive wall hack character. But moving on to the loadout section for the class system, they actually stated in this post, based on your feedback and further playtesting, we're happy with the structure of class gadgets and equipment with small room for improvements. Now keep that statement in the back of your mind while I read out the specific class gadgets and constantly available class equipment. The Assault class has constant access to the med pen, the Engineer class has access to the repair tool, the Support class has access to the defibrillator, and the Recon class has access to the insertion beacon. Now, the individual class gadgets which you can select one of are as follows. For the Assault class, you can select the Smoke Launcher, IBA Armor Plate, C5 Explosive, and the M18 Claymore, which I don't think anybody is looking forward to, because who actually likes Claymores? For the Engineer class, they have access to anti-tank mines, the Recoilless M5, the FXM-33AA missile, which is just the Stinger, the Javelin, and the EOD bot. For the Support class, they have access to the Ammo Crate, Medical Crate, Smoke Launcher, and Claymore. And the Recon class has access to the Tugs, Tracer Dart Gun, Claymore, C5 Explosive, Proximity Sensor, and, of course, the SOFLAM. Now, this will undoubtedly add a ton of readability to the game. As it stands right now, you can't look at a specific specialist and go, hey, he's playing Liss. That means he has the Recoilless M5. Hey, he's playing McKay. That means the only anti-tank he can possibly has is C5. That's not how the game is right now, and I think the Specialist class update will absolutely make the game better. But I do have to point out some very, very pressing concerns, at least in my opinion. Theoretically, if you play as McKay, because he's in the Assault class, McKay is already incredibly strong just by himself. Now take into account that he has med pen and armor plates. Or, if you want to try to play a flanking anti-tank McKay, you can use med pen C5. So, I think this only is a buff to already insanely strong characters in this game, and I think once this update comes out and people kind of flush the meta out a little bit, I think DICE will probably have to step in and make further changes. Now, moving on to a new section of this post, weapon restrictions. DICE goes on to state that a separate contentious point of feedback we heard from you was about freedom of choice for weapons. Presently, specialists have access to all weapons, and there are no restrictions to choice of weaponry within your loadout. We have heard from some of you that you enjoy having access to all weapons, while others noted that you would instead enjoy having weapons locked to the class that you're playing to help enforce class identity. While we bring more structure to gameplay via the class rework, we feel that adding weapon restrictions would not be the right change for how you're currently used to playing Battlefield 2042 alongside specialist gameplay. Now, I actually think DICE hits the nail on the head here and made the correct decision. I don't support weapon restrictions for Battlefield 2042. I think the game would just be a lot less fun. I think it would make you play specialists that you don't necessarily want to play in a specific situation, and I actually like being able to use whatever weapon I want on whatever character. Now, this is an interesting system DICE is introducing here because they're introducing something called weapon class proficiencies. And DICE goes ahead and gives this example. Recons are known for using sniper rifles on the battlefield, and their proficiency when wielding this weapon type outperforms, for example, an assault, who are skilled at using assault rifles. While recons will still have access to all weapons in the new system, they'll now benefit from wielding sniper rifles by automatically holding breath much longer while in ADS. So this is a bit of an interesting system because what they're shooting for is the weapons that would normally be restricted to a specific class now aren't, but if you're using, say, Casper with a sniper rifle, you will then receive a bonus to that weapon class, which is pretty interesting. I am interested to see what benefits they give the other weapons. Like they mentioned, Assault is proficient in using assault rifles. What passive benefit are they going to give the Assault class for using, say, the Scar or the M5? They don't actually go on and give any specifics. I imagine that'll be further detailed in the Season 3 update. Before we get into the last part of this video, just want to make sure if you're watching to this point, thanks so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're enjoying the video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and like the video. It goes a long, long way, and I really do appreciate it. We're very close to 33,000 subs. They did mention that they're making further UI changes. So, for instance, in the class selection screen, there'll be, classes at the bottom. I'll just put the screenshot up here. You can look at it. Assault, Engineer, Support, Recon listed. And in the other collection menus, you can see at the bottom, they separated all the specialists. So that'll make it a little easier to navigate. On top of the menu navigation improvements, they've also improved the class icons, and they've provided some sort of icon that tells you what weapon is proficient while using what class. So, in general, this update that is coming to the game in the later half of Season 3, which is still a ways away, I think this will probably be the best Battlefield 2042 update anyone could possibly ask for in terms of just gameplay readability. And I'm normally pretty, realistic or negative, or what do you want to say on these things, but this is something that the game's needed since the game has released. It's one of the biggest problems with the game, and it's at least good to see that they're recognizing that it's a massive problem, and for the most part, I'd say they made some correct decisions here that I would expect them to actually mess up. Now, with that being said, this isn't some game-saving update. I don't anticipate, some 300% spike in player count as a result of this update or anything. I just think that it is nice to see, and it will definitely be an improvement to the game. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think of the classes? How do you think they're separated? Do you like it? Do you not? How do you like the weapon proficiency systems? And what would you give each class in terms of weapon proficiencies? That should be some interesting comments. So, I'll see you guys in the next one.